Hey, this is Ryan from Rocket SaaS, and you're listening to the SaaS Marketing Weekly podcast, the show that gives you actionable marketing strategies and campaign ideas to rocket your SaaS business. And if you want even more SaaS marketing ideas, go to saasmarketingweekly.com to join my free newsletter. Hello there, welcome back to another episode of SaaS Marketing Weekly with me, your host Ryan, the founder of Rocket SaaS. And today we're going to be talking about how much of your revenue should you be spending on marketing. So I'm going to tell you the percentage of your revenue that you should be spending on marketing. Or if you're not really much of a revenue generating business yet and you are working off funding, then I'm going to be telling you how much of your funding that you should be spending on your marketing. And we're also going to be talking about ad spend. I get this question a lot. How much ad spend should I be spending on LinkedIn, Google? So I'm going to address that too. The reason I'm making this episode is because I find that most SaaS businesses are quite surprised when they hear how much you should be spending on marketing. A lot of SaaS businesses are not spending enough of their budget on marketing, considering how much revenue that they're making or how much funding that they've got. If you want to scale the business, you need to be investing appropriately into marketing. So, based on research from SaaS Capital and also Gartner, a revenue-generating SaaS business should be spending between 5 and 10% of their annual revenue on marketing. So, for example, if you're turning over £2 million per year, your marketing budget should be somewhere between £100,000 and £200,000. So do a little bit of maths. Speak to your accountant. If you're the marketer, maybe speak to one of the founders or senior people in the business, find out how much the business is turning over, and then work out how much marketing budget you've got. Does it fit within that 5 to 10%? If it's below 5, you might want to have a conversation with them and say, I need more money. If you want to scale, we need more marketing budget. So the range of 5 to 10%, go for the lower end of that. If you're just looking to stabilize the business, have steady growth, if you've got aggressive growth, like most SaaS companies do, you want to be at the higher end of that, more towards the 10%. And in terms of what that covers, is probably what you're thinking in your head. The key thing that it does not cover is internal marketing hires. So if you've got a head of marketing or marketing executive employed within the company, that does not come out of that 5 to 10%. That comes out of like another cost, like salaries, operations, whatever you want to call it. The actual marketing budget is spent on things like paid ads, Google ads, LinkedIn ads, Meta ads, things like content creation. If you're getting that done externally, like a copywriter or an agency to write blogs, create videos, write case studies. Also, you might be investing externally in SEO. There's also marketing software like Canva, MailChimp, HubSpot, that kind of thing. And also any external agencies, like my agency, Rocket SaaS, would come under your annual marketing budget. Now, if your startup or your SaaS company is funded, you've raised investment from somebody. Some information research from Crowdcube says that most SaaS companies will spend between 20 to 40% of their funding on marketing activities. So again, figure out how much funding did you raise, then look at how much marketing budget did you allocate or how much marketing budget did you get given? And if you that's in charge of the marketing feel that that's not enough, then it might be worth having a conversation with some of the founders or the senior team, the people that are setting the budget. You want to go in there backed up so you can use this podcast, send it to them, but also a bit of research online, Gartner, SaaS Capital. They did some articles that basically outlined this based on lots of research. It could be quite eye-opening for some senior people in the business. So let me give you an example budget and an example breakdown. Let's say if you had a £200,000 marketing budget to play with, this is how I would break it down. I would put 60,000 into paid ads, which is £5,000 a month. So £5,000 a month ad spend is pretty decent for most sort of startup, scale-up SaaS businesses. That's going to allow you to test on multiple platforms like Google and LinkedIn. You can have a couple of different funnels running. You can get retargeting ads happening. You can learn very quickly as to what's working, what's not working. And then when it starts to generate revenue, you can increase the budget from there. The key thing is if you're kicking off ads, maybe not for the first time, but you're really digging into ads and putting some decent budget into it, you don't just want to chuck loads and loads of money at it. You've got £5,000 a month is a very good budget to understand what works and give you confidence to then reinvest the money that you're making from it. So yeah, £60,000 or £5,000 a month into paid ads. You then need somebody to run the ads. You also need somebody to create content where the ads are going to be driven to. You need someone to be improving the website to get better conversions. You need somebody to be heading up the whole marketing strategy for you, creating landing pages, lead magnets. So that's a lot of people. And that's going to eat up all of your budget if you start to employ all of those people or freelancers. That's basically why I created Rocket SaaS. So for £60,000 for the whole year or £5,000 a month, you could get Rocket SaaS to be your full service marketing partner. We will run your Google ads, your LinkedIn ads, your Meta ads. We'll be creating content month on month, landing pages, lead magnets, and creating the whole strategy for basically the same price as one internal marketing hire that probably won't be able to do half of that. So I know I'm biased, but I would put £60,000 into hiring Rocket SaaS to be your marketing partner. I then also look at spending £40,000 of that budget into SEO and or PR. Now that is a long-term play. You may not get the results from the SEO until like year 2. So if you can't wait that long, I'd probably reinvest that back into the ads. But if you've got a long-term vision and you think that SEO is a strong option for you, if people are going to be searching for your keywords, then SEO would be a sound investment. I then put the remaining £40,000 potentially into exhibitions. I said potentially. I've got some clients that do very well from exhibitions. I've got some clients that say it's a waste of time. Each industry is very different. It's hard for me to give a generalized marketing budget for every SaaS company, but you should look at exhibitions, particularly if you're high ticket. If you're the sort of company that could go to an exhibition, invest £10,000 in it, and all you need is one sale off the back of it, and it's been worthwhile, then that can often work. If you're low ticket, it's often a struggle. So that is how I would split the budget. And the final point I wanted to address was a budget for paid ads. I've already given you a previous example of spending £5,000 a month if you've got a £200,000 annual marketing budget. I imagine a lot of you are rolling your eyes and saying, I wish I had that much budget. A lot of companies have a lot smaller of a marketing budget. So the question I get asked a lot is how much should we be spending on ads? You really want to be trying to get at least £1,000 a month. If you have anything less than £1,000 a month to spend on ads, you're going to learn very, very slowly. You're not going to be able to test multiple industries, job titles. You're not going to create lots of funnels, even lots of ads. You're going to really struggle to build up a retargeting audience, which is absolutely critical to get leads from ads. So if you don't have £1,000 a month on ads, you might want to consider investing that into more sales, like direct outreach to people to really try and hustle and drum up some business before you get the budget to be running ads. So I'd start with at least 1,000. And as I alluded to just now, you want to be having enough of a budget to building up a retargeting audience. So in terms of where to split the budget, say between Google and LinkedIn, it totally depends on whether people are searching for your solution or not. If people are Googling, the problem that you help solve or the type of software that you offer, then great. That seems like an obvious place to start. If people are searching for construction project management software, and that's what you do, then yes, you should be bidding on that keyword. If you've got a better landing page, a better website than your competitors, then you're going to get demos that way. But I mean, a lot of SaaS companies that don't have any search volume, their product is niche, it's unique, it solves a problem that people don't really have at the front of their minds, so they're not Googling it. That means you need to go heavy on social media ads. Mainly in B2B SaaS is going to be LinkedIn ads. Unfortunately, they're quite expensive. You can often be spending 10, even £20 per click. So you need to be very smart of your budget if you've only got about £1,000. And the best advice I can give you if you have a small budget is to be very, very precise with your targeting. Don't even think about targeting multiple countries. Don't target the whole of the United States and the UK and most countries in Europe and Canada. Your budget is going to be stretched like the thinnest pancake ever imaginable. You need to understand who is your main ICP, ideal customer profile, who is most likely to buy from you. You can do that by understanding your existing customers. You could even spend a little bit of budget into surveying people to try and understand it. You really need to get tight on exactly what countries, what industries, what job titles, and be very laser focused and therefore create ads which are laser targeted to those industries, job titles, pain points. And then you put your ad budget into lasering those people. As you start to get broad, that's where your small budget starts to get wasted. So just get super specific before you invest a small budget. So yeah, £1,000 a month can drive results. If you double it to 2,000 a month, suddenly you do start to get a bit more freedom. Mostly when small SaaS companies come to me and they ask me that question, I say, yeah, absolute minimum 1,000, but if you can stretch to 2,000, that'd be really good. That'll allow us to be a bit broader. We can try a couple of different funnels, a few different industries, and we just learn. We turn off the funnel that isn't working, pump more money into the funnel that is working, throw in a new funnel, and each month we're just learning. So yeah, minimum 1 to 2, and then you can crank the handle when it starts to work. So that's it. I hope you found that insightful. Like I said, check out your revenue, check out your funding, work out what percentage of marketing budget you've allocated or you've been given. If it's anything below those numbers that I've mentioned, then it might be worth having a difficult conversation and trying to get yourself more budget if the company is trying to scale. But yeah, I hope you found that insightful. If you want more insightful, interesting SaaS marketing tips, strategies, and advice, go to saasmarketingweekly.com, sign up to my weekly newsletter, which I send out every Thursday morning. Very similar to this podcast, but I send tips and strategies and ideas, obviously in written format. And I get really great feedback on that newsletter. So hopefully, if you enjoy this podcast, you'll really enjoy that too. But yes, thanks a lot. I've been Ryan from Rocket SaaS, and I will see you next week.